Hello, welcome. Welcome to Flipping Sales Cycles with Storytelling. My name's Carrie Severson, and I will be your tour guide for the next 30 minutes. Thanks so much for coming. Do me a favor and get really comfortable. Find a comfy chair to lean back in, absorb all this awesomeness about storytelling and how it can better your business and flip your sales cycle. Grab some water, a pen and a notebook, take a couple of deep breaths, shake off your day, and close out all the applications that you've got going on right now. All I ask is that you really give me 30 minutes of your time to help you learn how to create some great avenues to new clients through your own experiences. Are you ready? Let's get going. So first things first, I put this together for entrepreneurs who are really in 3 different categories. So I work best with entrepreneurs who are interested in taking their business to a new level, in a new direction. I love working with 2 or 3 time entrepreneurs or startups. And I work best with inspired entrepreneurs who are looking for more visibility. So if you feel like you fit into one of these 3 categories, you're going to get a lot out of this 30-minute presentation. If you're not, thank you for your time. Feel free to drop off. Otherwise, let's keep going. So what you're going to learn today, I'm going to give you 3 things. I'm going to give you tips and tools to learn how to take your own experience and create some sustainable storytelling capabilities, some great lessons to help you step out from behind your brand so that your audience really learn from you and see you for your authentic super self. The second thing we're going to talk about is really how to find your target audience. And the third piece we're going to discuss today is on how storytelling can better your business. So we're going to talk about your lessons, your audience, and essentially your platform. So the difference here, I'm like you, I'm an entrepreneur. I sit through a lot of webinars. I go to a lot of conferences, a lot of networking events. I'm actually a storyteller as well. I have a background in writing. I've been a published writer for nearly 20 years. And these little notebooks you see over here on the right-hand side, those are just a fraction of what I went through last year. So the difference here is that I'm sincerely giving you tips and tools that I've learned about storytelling through my experience as a writer and my experience as an entrepreneur. I'm not selling anything here, so feel free to just lean back, absorb, put your wallet away. I'm giving you the tips and tools I've learned. I've been there, I've done that. And sincerely, my first business was a nonprofit, and so I really do feel like I was put here on earth to support others as they find their purpose and find their groove to better their life. So I have a huge heart of service. So you're probably here because you're trying to figure out a way to flip your sales cycle so that it is a little bit easier for you to do your business and essentially to have a better work-life balance. So many entrepreneurs are burnt out. I'm a recovering burnout myself, so I can really sympathize with that and empathize. Many of them have a hard time balancing all the different hats that entrepreneurs have to wear. The sales, the marketing, the customer service, the research, the database. I get it. I've been there. I totally understand. Most of us run low on energy, run low on ideas, run low on sometimes funds. So we consistently put ourselves in this fight or flight cycle that really doesn't help us in our highest good. What I'm asking you to look at is on how storytelling can really help you kind of move through your work-life balance issues. If you are in a burnout cycle, if you are fighting to find new clients, if you are struggling to really make ends meet because you're consistently in this, fight or flight pattern, the chances are you're looking in the wrong marketplace. You're talking to the wrong market. Chances are you're talking at your market versus teaching them what you have to teach. I'm guessing you're probably hiding behind your brand and you're talking more about your products and your services than you are talking about your expertise and you as a human being. And my guess is you're telling them the wrong stories. So often when we get into business, we feel like we have to consistently prove ourselves and our experiences. And we try to prove ourselves by showcasing, our awards and how many millions of dollars we've won. What people are really looking for, though, is who they are dealing with at an authentic level. They want to know, the great Wizard of Oz. They want to know the man behind the curtain. So what I'm doing here in this storytelling webinar here is to really help you really see how to create that authentic storytelling so that you do gain some additional clients. How storytelling can serve you, here's what happens. I'm going to give you an example. When I started writing for Huffington Post, my very first blog for them, my very first essay was on my burnout experience. And I gained hundreds of emails from people around the world. That one essay I posted led to an opportunity to be on stage in New York City. I told a 7-minute story on stage about my burnout experience and finding my way back to happy. That experience led me to be contacted by a speaking agency, and now I'm a represented speaker. Storytelling can serve you and your highest good when you're working on the right platforms, when you're telling the right stories on the right media outlets. Because essentially what will happen is you'll start to gain ideal clients and they'll start to come to you. You'll be able to really lean back in your in all these different pitching avenues that you have, and you'll be able to let go of the ones that really don't work for you because you're putting your authentic self on platforms that are reaching ideal clients that haven't heard of you yet. So you're flipping your cycle. They're coming to you. You're able to be yourself in your brand and at your business authentically. You no longer have to hide. And it really is much lighter experience when, you do come out and you start to share experiences that you have. Most importantly, though, what will happen is you'll get to spend more time in the areas of your business that you really enjoy. So who I am, that's me. Yes, my hair does look like that pretty much all the time. I like to say that that's the Leo lion in me. I'm a published writer. I've been published for the last 20 years. I do write for Huffington, I write for Redbook, I write for Mogul, I write for a bunch of other platforms. I'm a two-time entrepreneur, so I run a for-profit and a nonprofit. The nonprofit being my first time out as an entrepreneur, which really led to my burnout experience. So as I said, I'm a recovered burnout. So I know what you're dealing with in terms of all the different hats. There's a huge difference between nonprofit and for-profit, and I'm really grateful that I have the experience in them both. And then I love to say that I'm a lighter because I really do love to support people as they ignite their light and they expand their light. I'm a lover because I'm pretty much a fan of all things, with the exception of snakes and sharks. Snakes because of a childhood experience and sharks because of Jaws. And I'm a big believer. I'm a believer in the greater good. I'm a believer in the underdog. I'm a believer in passion and purpose. I'm a believer in small business. I'm a big believer in clients, and I'm a great cheerleader for supporting everyone's highest good. What I do, I support entrepreneurs and I help them find snippets of their life to create short essays with, and then I help you find media outlets that we can share those stories on as a way to garner additional attention and visibility for you. So one of my clients, Christy Hall, created this cute little quote that I included in here. She's a writer. She writes blogs pretty much weekly, and she never considered the power that she had in these blogs. She put out blogs to her database and on her website, but she hadn't considered publishing her essays on outside platforms before. And now she does, and she's starting to gain more attention and more visibility, and she's got this beautiful business called Conscious Connections, and she's gaining more clients as a result of it. April is a beautiful individual. She has a vast experience in the PR and the marketing industry, and she had a habit of hiding behind her brand or other people's brands. And she's got this great depth of faith behind her, but she hadn't ever really put that out there. And so we're working together to really align her passion and her purpose as a way to fully come out behind her brand. And it's really a joy to see and watch this happen. So, storytelling. You might be asking yourself what that really entails. Most people consider storytelling to be the About Me section of your website, or the backgrounder of your business. A lot of times we put together press releases, and we hope that the media pick them up and provide us somewhat attention there. We consider that to be storytelling. We look at ways that we can sell new products or new services through networking, and we try to think of anecdotal stories there, or we blog. And chances are one or many of those pieces aren't leading to sales. And there is a reason for that. Storytelling is really a personal experience. You're sharing something vulnerable and authentic about your lesson in your life, and you're offering your experience for other people to gain from. That's what storytelling is all about. So what I like to tell my clients is, you are an educator. You are the expert of your life, the expert of your lessons. And your job and your responsibility is to give out these lessons and these experiences that you've had for the greater audience to really gain from. And when you do that, and you do that authentically, and you do that successfully on platforms or media outlets that your ideal clients are engaged on, they'll come to you. They'll start to engage you. Storytelling is an open door to conversation. It happens every day. You'll meet somebody for dinner, and one of the very first questions will be, "How was your day?" Leads into a story. And then they'll ask you, "How was your day?" Leads into another story. Chances are somebody went to a restaurant that you're dying to try, or you met somebody new that you want to meet, all because of a story. So today we're going to talk about 3 things. I created this program called Storyteller Junction, and the remaining part of our webinar here is really going to be a top-line version of Storyteller Junction. I'm going to give you 3 lessons that you can walk away from today. So welcome to your Storyteller Junction, ladies and gentlemen. From this point on, you are a storyteller. Your voice is valuable. The stories you have to share are important. And this is where it all begins. Lesson 1. Your lessons. All right, so I want you to take a deep breath. Let it out. Take another one, please. Let it out. Let your mind sort of roam. And I want you to think of 2 things that you've learned throughout your experience as an entrepreneur. For me, time management is always number 1, and harmony is always number 2. I'm a big believer in work-life balance. I love finding happiness every day, and that wouldn't happen without some time management skills. So somewhere on a notebook or something, I want you to write your first lesson and write your second lesson, please. And then I want you to think of what you've learned from both these lessons. Time management for me I've sought out additional applications, online calendar. I've deleted a number of social. I start using like Hootsuite or one of those applications that allow you to post to a number of different sites at the same time. For harmony, I meditate in the morning. I write in the morning. I work out 3 to 4 times a week. Those things could each be an additional essay, an additional blog of yours. So what we're doing is we're looking at your overall lessons and we're breaking it into slices that you can share in 500 to 800 word personal stories. You've had an entire lifetime to gain your experience. You really shouldn't look at storytelling as an opportunity to give your audience everything about you in the same sitting. So we're going to break it down little by little. Everything that you're sharing, personal storytelling wise, should come back to your big why. And your big why most likely has to do with your business, right? So for me, my big why is creating harmony in life and really supporting others as they do the same. So when I'm sharing my personal experiences, I come from this authority perspective of, I'm going to learn about this, I'm going to learn from this experience, and it's going to better my life because I'm all about finding the good in life. I'm all about creating harmony and advising others on how to do the same. So the big point here in this first lesson is that when you're authentic in your lessons and your storytelling, people are really able to identify with you. You're capturing your audience, you're being truthful about your experiences, and you're giving them short snippets to absorb and digest one sitting at a time. So a lot of times I get asked, well, I don't know where to start. So let's start here. You've got 2 big lessons that you've learned as an entrepreneur. For me, time management, and second one is harmony. So what we can do is easily, let's focus on time management, for example. The formula that you're going to give your audience here, we can take the idea of time management and break it down into several different personal essays. One great way to reach your audience is to give them how-tos. So let's say we do how to create more time in your day. You could give them 3 examples how to create more time in your day. Point number 1 is, don't look at your phone or your computer first thing in the morning. Get your daily chores out of the morning, right away in the morning. A second point could be to click out of social media as soon as you're done posting. A third one could be to make a note of the 3 most important things you've got to do before you do X, Y, and Z. So that's one essay. A second essay on time management could include a list. A list is, let's say you're going to do 4 different applications to look at to increase your time management skills. And you could literally create the pros and cons out of 4 different applications that you find. And the third way you could tell a story is through short narrative. Pretty self-explanatory, 500 to 800 words. So right there, we've created 3 ways in which you can share one lesson. 3 different essays. And those essays could all be out there, attracting ideal clients back to you to help you flip your sales cycle. Pretty cool, huh? Okay, so point number 2 has to do with your audience. Ideal audience, target market, super important for any business, right? So we're going to close our eyes again, take a deep breath in, exhale. This time, you're standing on a stage and the house lights are on and you're looking out at an audience filled with individuals that meet your target market. And everyone is cool. There's no panic, there's no stress. You're totally comfortable standing on stage looking at all these people. I want you to really picture them. What do they look like? Where are they from? What do they do for a living? Where do they gain their knowledge? Where do they gain their resources? What are their similarities? Kind of really get the picture of who they are and what they look like. What I like to tell my clients is, if you're the educator and you're the educator of your lessons, you're the educator of your life, you're the expert of your life, you should really look at your audience as students. They're gaining knowledge from you. They're looking to learn from everyone. We're all out there looking for a way to further our life, and we're looking to experts to do that. You are an expert, so look at your audience as a student. What are they wanting to learn from you? You're here to serve them. So in this sort of practice, this meditation here right now, picture yourself as a student. What would you want to gain from someone like you? Flip the role here. So a great way to really dig into that a little bit deeper is to put a quick survey monkey together. I encourage all of my my clients to really ask their 5 to 10 current clients 3 simple questions. What media outlets are they engaged on? What do they worry about? And what brands do they love? You can start to thread a good understanding of platforms that you should be on by those 3 questions. They're most likely looking on their media outlets because of something they're worried about and because of something they want to learn about. Are you able to fill that void right there with your own experiences and your own lessons? That's a great way for you to understand what you could be sharing with your audience. What lessons, what writing you can share. What brands they love really help you understand the style of writing that you should be approaching them with for them to absorb. And hopefully you'll gain some good insight on those 3 simple questions. And SurveyMonkey is a really free, easy survey. Sincerely, 3 questions will really open the door for you to understand how to engage your audience a little bit better through storytelling. And then the social media impact here, everyone knows how valuable social media is. I'm going to give you a quick understanding of how this works with storytelling. A client of mine I worked with just recently created a 3-point how-to essay on helping female entrepreneurs speak up. Really timely, very valuable, having to do with her not being paid appropriately compared to her male counterpart. So we found a platform. She shared her story, and we sort of watched it. For the first couple of hours, it was viewed by like 30 to 50 people. We each shared it on 2 different social media platforms, and within the next hour, it was shared and seen by an additional 400 people. So that is an instant gratification when you're telling the right story to the right audience on the right platform with 4 simple clicks. It really works. It's very surprising. I love it. I love watching it happen and love watching what comes in from my clients when they do it right. So platform, I've said this several times already. Platform is really, it's a brand. It's an outlet. You yourself are a platform. Your database is your platform. What I encourage clients to do is to utilize a media outlet like Huffington Post, for example. Lean on Huffington Post or CNN or Entrepreneur or Fortune as a way to better your own platform. So you're sharing your experiences on their outlet to draw your ideal client back to you. When it works, when you're telling the right stories, you're getting instant gratification because you're able to watch how it expands. You're bettering your audience, you're engaging a deeper audience, and you're creating an additional touch point in your own sales funnel because your storytelling is an open invitation for someone to engage with you. 2 platforms that I'm a huge fan of, Mogul and Huffington Post. Both are seen by millions on a daily basis, and both have great opportunities for you to engage very different audiences. Mogul is primarily a female-centric audience. Huffington Post is super broad, right? So when I post on Huffington, I either post on GPS for the soul or I post in the business section. Very different things are going to happen depending on where you post there. But just to give you an example, the very first time I really started telling personal stories, I leaned on Huffington Post with my burnout experience. gained hundreds of emails within a matter of a couple hours from people around the world, and was invited to stage to tell my story. Super powerful. Mogul happened, started sharing on Mogul, and was invited to share on additional platforms. So once you start, it's important that you're able to really watch the platform here and you start to gain momentum. I've said before that we're in a content-rich society. We're all looking to learn from one another, and storytelling is a great way to learn from one another. So these 4 outlets, these 4 platforms are great examples of how you can start to share. Entrepreneur, a great opportunity for you to storytell. A lot of their content is written by other entrepreneurs. Mind, Body, Green, they look for mind, body, soul, consciousness type stories. Everything is put out there by freelancers or storytellers like us. Glassbreakers, a great platform. They provide inspirational content for female, the modern businesswoman. A+, you may know of this already. It's Ashton Kutcher's platform. Very cool, instant storytelling opportunities. Check it out. So before I launched a nonprofit, I freelanced as a writer for many years for many different magazines, and I created what I call the pitch and pipe. So imagine your pipeline. You've got content, you've got sales opportunities, you've got marketing pieces, you've got products and services all coming down your pipeline out to your audience, right? Well, when you're storytelling, your opportunity is to be out visible, to be out in the public with one lesson. And then your opportunity then becomes, how often are you going to stay engaged? What's your momentum like? It's not enough to just tell one story and hope that it's going to bring you in millions of dollars. Your opportunity and your responsibility as an educator and as an expert of your life is to continue this momentum. So once you have one story out there, go back to your lessons and start to draft another piece. What can your next lesson be? What can your next essay be about? And store that up. When you have that down, go back to the drawing board and do the same thing. When I work with clients, I like to have them leave me and our time together with no less than 4 personal essays ready in their pitch and pipe, so that when they actually do create a platform somewhere and they do create some traction, they've got a number of pieces coming down their pipeline so that they gain momentum. So we're coming up on 30 minutes here, so I'm going to recap really quick. The main point in storytelling is to go back to your why and to share your lessons in digestible 500 to 700 word essays. And remember that you can share one lesson in a variety of different ways for a variety of different platforms or audiences. Create a survey with your audience. Ask them what media outlets they're engaged on, what they're worried about, and what brands they love, to give you an understanding of the types of lessons that you should be sharing, where you should be sharing them on, and how your writing style should really look. And finally, expanding your platform by using other people's platforms. I should say gaining recognition on other people's platforms, not using. Using is a dirty word. All right, so today I promised I'd help you step out from behind your brand and let your audience learn from you. I hope you feel that I've delivered on that. I've given you some tips and tools to help you better understand where your target audience is hanging out. And I helped you understand how storytelling can better your business through flipping your sales cycle. So now, if you feel that you've gained everything possible from me, please take it and run, and good luck with it. If not, please connect with me so that we can work together on your own storytelling journey. I'm offering a free 30-minute discovery call for inspired entrepreneurs who feel like they're really ready to be visible and are ready to share lessons and experiences that they've gained over their time as an entrepreneur. I love working with inspired entrepreneurs, and I'd love to learn to see if you and I are fit. If we are fit, I'll invite you into an online course I've created called Storyteller Junction, where I give you everything you need to learn how to create a number of storytelling opportunities for you. So if this is something you're interested in, please book a call with me here on my calendar, and we will get you scheduled for a 30-minute discovery call to see if you and I are fit. So as promised, it's 30 minutes. I'm going to wrap up by telling you that storytelling is something I've been involved in really my whole life. I've a published author for 20 years, and I really became a writer because I wanted to change the way society views women. And I felt the best way to do that would be to get involved in the sector of society that really put a spotlight on the type of women other women focus on. And along my journey as an entrepreneur and as a storyteller, I can definitely say that I've met so many beautiful, inspiring entrepreneurs who are really bettering the world through their own work. And I'm so grateful that I have an opportunity of supporting so many of them. And I'm really looking forward to seeing what you do with your experience as a storyteller. I hope you have a beautiful day, and I really do look forward to hearing from you. Bye-bye.